Russian fleet 35 miles of Hawaii. If we not careful, a bunch of dead guys scattered on the beach by a surprise. Watch as the subs rise with the sunrise.
What is going on, guys? It's Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Today, we're going to be talking about a lot of really crazy stuff going off of the coast of Hawaii and, of course, Taiwan. So stick around. There are big things popping, and as we told you, we think we know where it will start. We'll be right back right after this.
Russian fleet 35 miles of Hawaii. If we not careful, a bunch of dead guys scattered on the beach by a surprise. Watch as the subs rise with the sunrise.
Nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else with the show, including our wonderful mods. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. With that out of the way, though, I do want to mention to anyone who is new or just subscribed that we make sure to back up every story, every single video, every single tweet on our website, marfooglenews.com. It's very easy to navigate. You just look for today's thumbnail, and you will see that we have today's show and a bibliography of all of the sources. So all you have to do is look for this thumbnail. This was too close. Again, just to make sure, because I'm sure someone in the comments will point it out. That is a picture of, I believe, like something that we did, one of our carriers that we sunk on purpose, but I was using it as reference. What really happened, though, was Russia just apparently sunk a mock aircraft carrier off of the coast of Hawaii, and they said it was 300 miles. Actually, satellite pictures say that it was more like 35 miles. Now, if you can imagine anybody that lives about 35 miles away from you, that is extremely close, especially when you're talking about on the water. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. We're going to talk about how another record number of jets just went into the ADIZ in Taiwan. We're also going to be talking about strange lights over India, very, very strange stuff going on over China. It's just like today is really, I'm not one of those channels that say, today is going to be a great show every single time, because it isn't always. I don't know if it's going to be a good show, especially with a live call-in. If you do want to call in, make sure to call in at 224400MARF. That's again 224400MARF. That number is going to be scrolling down below. If you do not have a phone with letters on it, it is 2244006273. If you press option 4, you'll get Dex, who I'm about to introduce. Hey Dex, my co-host / internet brother, are you there? And can we do a sound check?
Well, hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing just fine.
So we also have Too Hot for TV stuff on the website. If you do want to support us in any way, on the right side is all of our affiliates, our PayPal, our Amazon links. If you do feel like going above and beyond, we are truly independent. We do not have a multi-channel network. We have you as our backbone. So thank you, Foogle fam. Again, thank you for everybody that supports. So this is actually pretty funny. At the same time, it's kind of messed up. It says, never come back. Jeff Bezos and 7 other people who earned a place on a one-way journey to space. It says, let's be honest, it would be much easier to lock our candidates in a cell and throw away the key, or encase their feet in concrete and drop them into the Pacific Ocean. But we are not any freaking mafiosi. It says, and since humanity is attempting to colonize space, why not conduct a few maiden flights? At the beginning of the June's world's richest person, Jeff Bezos, revealed his plans to fly to space with his brother on board the rocket on his space company Blue Origin has developed. It says the internet quickly responded by creating a petition in a bid to stop him from returning to Earth. Money can't buy you love, Jeff, is what it says. But this is a real petition, and no joke, has already in fact, somebody just signed it as I flipped over, almost 100,000 signatures at change.org to not allow Jeff Bezos to return to Earth. Dex, this is kind of, gosh, I can only imagine if I had 100,000 people sign a petition to not allow me to come back to Earth. Like, that's like the ultimate, like, humanity doesn't want you. That's pretty messed up. What do you think about this? Do you think that Jeff Bezos should stay out in space, or do you think that that he had, he's a human being and he should be let back? Either way, if you do want to, for whatever reason, sign this petition, I think that it's not going to really go anywhere because you can't sign a petition to force somebody to stay in space. But again, you can go ahead and do it for fun if you would like. The link is going to be on our website. It's a change.org piece there. And then, of course, we have mysterious lights spotted in the night sky over India, Gujarat, trigger UFO speculation. Now, I'm going to show you the video here in a second, but I want to point out that obviously, what's weird in this case is that they are so heavily saying, oh, no, it's satellites, it's probably SpaceLink or Starlink or something like that, that this is not what it looks like, right? If you see the video, it does not look at all like our Starlink sightings, and they're like heavily like saying, no. Last time this happened, it was SpaceX, and this was not anything like that. And that's what it is this time, and they're for sure saying it. In fact, I'll read you a quote here. It says, footage of the sighting of mysterious bright lights blinking in the row in the sky posted by peoples in India's Gujarat state on Monday night has gone viral, sparking unidentified flying object or UFO rumors on social media and debate over the existence of extraterrestrial life. Netizens couldn't believe their eyes when they spotted some 7 mysterious lights gliding across the sky in Junagadh, city of India's Gujarat state, triggering speculation of UFOs on Monday night. Quashing the rumors of the UFOs being behind the unnatural lights, Notaram Sahu, an advisor to the Gujarat Council of Science and Technology, told local media on Tuesday that the incident may have occurred because of some satellites passing through low Earth orbit. It says, in the Satire region, people sighted 30 or 40 mysterious lights blinking in a straight line. This caused curiosity and fear in people in the region due to blind beliefs. However, according to space science, such light sightings could be for 3 reasons. It could either be because of a small portion of a meteoroid has entered the surface of the Earth. It could be a shooting star, Sahu. Or it says, but this particular sighting looked like multiple lights in a row. This could be because of some satellite passing through the low Earth orbit. There are more than 3,000 satellites functional in the lower Earth orbit of the Earth, he added. And of course, saying basically that this is SpaceX. Now, once you see the video of it, you'll be like, okay, sure. Okay, so this is on Twitter. This is Kuldeep Rao, and showing this out of Creative Commons here. Let's see here. All right. And let me turn myself on here. Bam. So this is the video in question, or one of the videos. There's another one with another piece here. So let's just see here. It's splitting apart. Personally, I would believe drones over SpaceX. Like, this does not look at all like SpaceX. It's spreading, and then they're at different angles. This looks like something that's not even in low Earth orbit. As you watch it, the second one, it like spins or separates. So again, I'll leave it up to you guys. You can play that on repeat or rewind. We'll give you the link to the original video and more on our website at marfooglenews.com, so you can decide for yourself if you think it's UFOs or if you think it's just something else. I would say that you could do that with drones. I've never seen that kind of lights. Usually it's red, blue, green. People can attach lights to these things, but it would be hard for amateurs to line up that many drones. Maybe you could do a drone and then have a light bar and then slowly spin and do it. I don't know. But again, we don't have much of the sense of kind of the height of it. So what do you think? Take a vote in the chat. Speaking of chat, thank you everybody that is already here. It looks like we already have 2,188 people over on YouTube. And then, of course, we have our lovely fam over on DLive. Crazy L12, thank you for showing support early on. It looks like we just had about 9 people follow right after the start of the show. Duvalin, Julie, we've got Stan Strong Woman, thank you for the ice cream. Carolina Roots, Informed Woman, Dixie Doe, Divine 1122. And then, of course, Divine 1122 says, you're amazing, light of love, everyone. Well, thank you so much. And then Dana Seladiva, thank you so much for following. And then Hijack 747, that's a name that you're going to be watched there. Thank you for following, though. And then, of course, One on B and Hopkinson and Mercer One are all here. Happy Camper, thank you for showing up. I really appreciate you guys. Jaybird42, Recalcitrant, all sorts of great people over on D-Live are here. And then thank you for everybody that has popped in already over on YouTube. It looks like we've got, Frankie Rios, but hold on here. Make sure that I'm shouting out the right people. Let's see here. Giant Culk Machine says, Marf, please research HB 6003 out of Florida. Christine Seedman says, I need a love mob. And then Toss Dare says, I'm a cryptocurrency trader. Let's see here. Honestly, I've been watching so many people put way too much money in and getting into trouble. So that was the last one out. Toss Dare. Thank you so much. And then to move on, we have, of course, Chinese residents puzzled by Doctor Strange style spiral in the evening sky. It says this is not the first time that the weird phenomenon has been seen in Chinese sky, but scientists have already managed to give it a simple and rather mundane explanation. The residents of northeastern China have been recently left puzzled by an odd aerial phenomena, a white spiral which some people compared to magic portals opened by Marvick Carmel's I'll just say all words with a I'm talking worse than Britney Spears on a Xanax run. Opened by Marvel Comics superhero Doctor Strange. Despite apparent similarities between the sightings and the Marvel blockbuster's special effects, the nature of the phenomena was apparently more mundane than observers might have hoped. U.S. astronomer Jonathan McDowell suggested in a comment for the Daily Mail that the spiral is simply a trace left by the Chinese rocket, specifically the Long March 2C, which was launched on the same day that the spiral was seen. I actually could believe that because I believe that they've been launching a lot of stuff. It says the spiral happens when the rocket is tumbling end over end while venting its fuel. It's exactly like a garden sprinkler, he said. So there was a brief screenshot here. Now, Dex, we had the video, but this was, again, this was being passed around Facebook. So what we're going to do is we're going to share the original video with you so you can access it on marfooglenews.com. It honestly reminds me a lot of what we've seen off of California and others. Again, but when you see it there, they don't have as many launches as we do. It's not like if you live in Florida and you see this stuff on a daily basis. Or what else are they launching? That's what's also very unnerving. So keep that in mind. All right. Let's see here.
Yeah, that video is in the article, Adam. So anybody goes to our website, clicks on that article, you'll see it.
Although we've just had so many problems with, of course, playing videos that originate on the book. I, of course, don't have a FB anymore, so haven't had one in, I think, over 3 years. So, again, I hope that everybody takes the same steps I did. And then, before we go any further, please note, we have actually an affiliate that we not only believe in, but we think that everyone will end up needing in the future, and we truly do believe that. If you have not checked out EMP Shield yet, this is not only a company that is government contracted with agencies like DHS, Department of Homeland Security, DOD, and of course the DEMSO team helping protect the Texas grid, but this can actually protect you against all 3 phases of an EMP. There are different devices for different things. You can get one for your house, for your home. The most popular is the car version, which can be put in about 5 minutes. What it does is it grounds the signal of an EMP before it fries your devices. In the car version, for example, it grounds the signal to the frame of the car. And again, before it fries your engine. So if an EMP or a CME, this protects against both, happens, you won't be stuck wherever you are. You'll be able to get home, get to work, get wherever you're going. Again, you can go to marfooglenews.com/EMP to get $50 off per device and help the channel at the same time. We really do appreciate each and every one of you that goes over there. Again, this is something that we not only, that helps the channel, but we believe in the end, people will thank us for it. It also protects your house against just general lightning. Again, thank you everybody that has already purchased one. Ask anybody that has already dealt with the company. They're amazing. They're veteran owned. And of course, they're all 100% American made by hand. So, all right, Dex, we're going to have callers tonight. Again, if you want to call in, the phone lines are now open. The number to call is 2244-006273. If you have a sighting or a video, we can also accommodate that here on the live show. Again, that's 2244-00-MARF.
And we do have our first caller lined up.
All right, so let's see here. We've got Brett, first-time caller, Strange Skies. Okay, calling from Washington. Looks like he's local here. Or unless that's Washington, D.C. Nope, that's local here. Okay, Dex, let's bring on Brett, first-time caller from my local Washington state. It looks like he has a video as well. And Brett, when you get in here, you will be live on Marfoogle News.
And Adam, I'm trying to get him on the line. 1 second.
Okay, no worries. In the meantime, I will say thank you, and a big other thank you to DM Walken. Made it from home with a rental. Yoo-hoo. I'm sad that you were having issues there. And then Susan Rock, and then Bobby D. Thank you for the Ninjagini. Thank you for driving up and supporting. Stormy7572, thank you as well for being here. Nice to see you. And Biblical Smackdown, thank you for the Lemons, Maui Racing Realtor, and Scooby-Doo Do-Right. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and supporting. Miss Me V2. Thanks for hanging out in D-Live. Let me know if anything is going on over there. Again, we've had just a couple of glitching moments over there over the last couple shows. Just want to make sure that that's all good. Dex, if you want, I can hit this article and then go back to Brett.
Yeah, do that. I'm getting him back on the line.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. And then we have Kim's sister, D. Ride's U.S. official, dismisses chances for talks. So obviously we've talked a lot about Kim. We've talked about NK. We have talked about some of the new EMP task force things that are coming out right now. And we have military group members that believe that this is actually one of the biggest part of whatever operation they're doing right now. It's going to play a big part of. So that's, again, why we choose the people we affiliate with. It's why we choose a lot of the stuff around here. It says, in this February 2018 file photo, Kim Yo Jong, sister of NK leader Kim, awaits for the start of the preliminary round of the women's hockey game between Switzerland and the combined Koreas at the 2018 Winter Olympics in Gyeongnyong, South Korea. Hold on here. And it says the powerful sister dismissed prospects for early resumption of diplomacy with the United States, saying that the U.S. expectations for talks would plunge them into a greater disappointment. Kim made the comments Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021, after U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan described as interesting signals. Kim Jong's recent statement that NK will be ready for both dialogue and confrontation, but more for confrontation. Out of South Korea, the powerful sister of NK leader Kim Jong. Let's see here. Actually, this Kim Jong-un's blunt statement indicates that the diplomatic impasse over NK's nuclear program is likely to continue unless the North suffers greater pandemic-related economic difficulties and needs urgent outside assistance, some experts said. Now, I doubt this will happen, and you probably know why I think that. I doubt that they're going to have this kind of related thing. If so, then I'm really going to think something's weird. Hope for a restart of nuclear talks flared briefly after Kim said last week that his country must be ready for both dialogue and confrontation, through, though more for the latter. It says U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan called Kim's comments... I don't know why this just repeated. Sorry, guys. It says, it seems that the U.S. may interpret the situation in such a way to seek comfort for itself. The official Korean Central News Agency quoted her as saying, the expectation which they choose to harbor the wrong way could plunge them into greater disappointment. This is horrible.
Isn't it interesting, though? I think the main thing here is that we're seeing the sister again, right? We've talked about this, and we've said that when this happens, that's a sign. And here it is, front and center. I know they were, they had mentioned 2018. I think that was a caption under the photo of her picture on the article. But the statement she's making is right now. It's happening right now.
Okay.
And she's out front and center again, right?
Okay, so somebody said, we did the NK video talking about EMP and how now the new EMP task force, which was put together by the previous administration, has Peter Pry at the head of it. We got that report. We literally had, kind of first dibs on that. That report says a whole lot. And a couple comments said, I think it was pretty much a troll saying, "Oh, I thought you said he was dead and he's a big worry." No, it's the country that's the worry. And again, if it is Kim, she is a psychopath. She has something to prove. She is a woman in that culture. There is something there she's got to put down the respect. Not only that, before she was ever mentioned, before she even popped up on the radar, people talked about this sister that kind of floated around, and that she did a lot of the dirty work. She did some of the stuff. Some say that she was rumored to be the one that had the anti-air thing and took out the uncle. That's freaking scary. Okay, like this woman is probably worse. Think about what she's had to go through. Think about the abuses that she probably went under. We have no idea. But again, she has something to prove. And if it is true that he is either in some sort of incapacitated state, if he lost part of his brain matter or whatever during the surgery and he's just not fully up to par and his sister's taken over, again, I think that it could totally be faked that he's still alive. People say that there's pictures of him talking or this, and that there's some way to prove that what time it is. Maybe he's talking about a current event. I don't know. But you have to realize for 100 years, these secret agencies have had doubles of everyone. I mean, doubles down to the point where, say, if they don't look exactly perfect, they do surgery on them. And on top of that, they get somebody, they'll rather get somebody with the exact same voice and then do surgery to make them look like that person, or even use a mask or a prosthetic, rather than get somebody who looks totally like it and sounds different. They do a whole lot. I've even heard of surgeries in CIA where they do larynx surgeries to make the sound of their voice change. That's more for not being identified. Who knows? Mr. EpiPen, he could be in Hawaii, like hanging out with his buddies. They could have done a surgery on his larynx so he sounds different. They could have redone his face, and boom, he's sitting drinking Mai Tais on the beach with princes and oil tycoons. We don't know. Again, but with this, I still think that it's weird.
Yeah, the other thing I would draw attention to, and I know a lot of people sort of have dismissed NK, and sort of rightfully so, over the last administration. But if you rewind to even the two previous administrations, we saw a lot of changes in leaders in countries that didn't adhere or didn't follow suit with things with the World Bank and other stuff like that, right? And he has always sort of been on that list and always been sort of worried that was going to happen. And it seemed like the last administration that sort of settled down, but now we're in something new, right? We don't know what's going to happen and how things are going to play out. And it certainly seems like he is jockeying, or they, I should say, because it's him and his sister or whoever it is over there. They're certainly pounding their chest because they're probably a little worried right now about what's really going to happen with them.
And of course, with everything that's going on in the world with all of these other countries, it's where do they fit in? They have done the bidding of other countries just to get by. And there are some truth. Nobody believes anything anymore, especially in our audience. It's like everybody's been lied to their entire lives, including just everything. And currently, we're being double lied to. It's like now we're being lied to, saying that everything you learned is now wrong again. And now they're teaching our kids all sorts of different things. It's like we've been lied to so much we don't know what's true. But what I do know is I go off of multiple people. We had over 500 active military in our Discord group before it was taken down for that reason. We had so many military that it was actually pretty much any group before January. Any group that had that many military in it was just axed. It was weird. Think if you ask anybody that was in any kind of military related Discord, they were all just axed. Why? I don't know. We didn't do anything. Again, they said something, but we didn't actually share stuff on there. We just gave people 50 state groups. People were meeting in person. People were meeting in groups of upwards of 150. Or no, I'm sorry. Our biggest meeting was like 109. But that was 109 local people meeting under this channel name, talking prep, just talking, survival, especially in some of the states with tornadoes and things like that. It was really important that these people met. So from that, we have military members, some of them active. People watch from the base. We've had many callers call from Fort Lewis McChord and things like this. They're locals, so they represent. They're like, hey, Adam and Marf, they're from Seattle, they're from Washington. We've had tons of people call from active duty. So I don't just take one person's word for it. I take family members, people I know, and then combine that with everything we hear. They are worried about NK. And it's like, what's weird and even weirder is there's some that aren't at all. And those some, it's like, what are those are the people that people are questioning where their loyalties lie. China and Russia, they can do stuff in NK that they can't do anywhere else in the world. They can do tests. They can do anything. Some of those tests that they did a couple years ago that we questioned, it could have been the hydrogen test, any of those. I always question, could that have been other countries doing tests there on stuff that they couldn't normally do, in Russia, because it would be detected and they're not allowed to do these certain kind of things. We don't know. What do you think? Do we have Brett on the phone? Can we get Brett in, or should I go to the next one?
Yes, we can get Brett in, Adam. Hang on one second.
Okay, thank you so much. By the way, Carlos Rodriguez, thank you so much for subscribing. We just got a whole plethora of new people. Rusty Britches, Donald Taylor. We've got Shelly Wade, Peter De Rosa. Thank you and welcome to the Foogle fam. We've got Huru TV2. I love the name. Thank you for subscribing. Hello? Jonathan Caralla, thank you. Brett, you are live on Marfoogle News. What is going on?
Hey, how's it going? What a pleasure, man. It's good to finally get on.
No problem. So what's going on? We've got a video here, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's a really interesting video I'd like your opinion on, but as long as it's talking about the Pacific and stuff, I was stationed in SK for almost 3 years, and I could talk about that after the video if you want.
Okay, 1 second. Let me. I was told probably need to play this up in the corner, so hold on.
And I just saw this last Friday.
What the hell is that? I mean, it's something with mass that is losing its mass against the forward pressure, right? That's what it looks like. There's something there, and the wind is acting upon it. That, it's moved from where it was here, all the way over here, and it's still holding its shape. That's so bizarre. I've never seen
like
vapor formations.
So,
well, it didn't take channel.
Hold on, wait, sorry. Don't show me the bolt report. I don't want the bolt report. 1 second, Brett. So what is weird is it's like a boat in the water, and how it's dragging on the water.
Yeah, I mean, and it's sort of geometrical. There's like a 90-degree angle there, and I've jumped out of a lot of airplanes, and the sky's never done that. It looks like there was a crack in the sky, and it's leaking. I doubt that's what it is, but it's intriguing.
Oh, I know. I see what you mean. Like it's a crack in time space, and there's liquid dripping out, almost like you
like that corn video. You remember that corn video?
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking like pot shots at like a gallon of milk, where the milk just drips out of the holes that after you hit it with a BB.
Right.
Weird. For it to go like this. The thing is though, I've seen stuff like this, and it's super weird, where you see these they're not lines, they're very specific. Like it's weird. Like there's something up there that's almost cloaked. Has anybody at home seen something like this?
Well, Wendy was with me when we filmed it, so it was like we both saw it like in real time right there. But I could ask around up here. There's all sorts of crazy stuff where we live. We live in like an electronic warfare training box. And so there's the unmanned stuff. There's other things, It's kind of a experimentation. A friend of mine I used to be in the military with sent me a message that it's probably our R&D. It's probably ours.
Oh, well, I wouldn't doubt that whatsoever. Brett, thank you for calling in, and thank you for showing that. The best way that we can send people your way is we're not only going to link that video so people can look at it and zoom in and everything else, but we're also going to link your channel there so everybody can go over and love Mom. Now, Brett,
fantastic.
Brett, you need 1,000 to get to the point where you can try to monetize, and you need to try to monetize,
right?
Because they don't try to let. If you're not monetized, it's really hard to get into the algorithm. But not only that, you can't live stream from your phone. You have to live stream from a laptop at home. So there's two things that open up when you get there. So I hope that the Foogle fam goes over and says hi, and make sure to represent the Foogle fam. Well, thank you, Brett. I appreciate your call, and we'll link your video again. I think people need to see it zoomed in. It looks like they already marked that video. Again, crazy stuff.
Yeah. What are you going to do, right?
Well, thank you so much. Brett Hines, everyone. The thing is I have seen stuff like that, and I'm just amazed. Every single day I look up, I see something that's weirder and weirder, or patterns or grids, and I'm like, what the heck? All right, let's get over to the next part. This is exactly what I was talking about in the previous video on news. This is, look at the videos we've made in the last month. Look at before CV, when we were showing you that we showed you the writing. We showed you that the 3-letter agency was putting out that we were going to have this event happen, right? And then it happened, and everybody was prepared in our Foogle fam. We just did a video last week that says Hawaii is where it will start. And then, of course, we have Russian fleet 35 miles off of Hawaii practices sinking an aircraft carrier. Russia's defense ministry has announced it sunk an aircraft carrier just 35 miles off the coast of Hawaii in a huge conflict game exercise that has alarmed the U.S. At least 20 Russian warships, Marines, and support vessels flanked by 20 fighter jets are taking part in the exercises, the biggest since the Cold Conflict. Russia says that they were 300 miles off the coast of Hawaii, yet unconfirmed satellite images from June 19th appear to show them much closer, within 35 miles of the U.S. state. Russia says that the forces are at a distance of about 2,500 miles southeast of the Kuril Islands. Again, this was something that it's very alarming. This is the now, again, another country practicing sinking a aircraft carrier. We had the I country do the same thing, and guess who they're practicing, guess who they've pasted the face on this dartboard is? It's us. Another thing, I was talking to Global Witness, which just came to town, and unfortunately I did not meet up with, but he said something that what was it? It was, oh, gosh, what the heck? Oh, I don't want to misquote it. Let me try to go back to what I was going to say later, because I don't want to misquote it and say the wrong thing. But anyways, this whole thing is just really, 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 really funky. Again, I think that everything here is happening for a reason, and I don't think that this is all BS. People think that it's all a show and that they're all doing this for the bigger thing, and I do believe that you are correct in that. But you also have to realize that the big show can play out, and the people that are not going to be a part, that are going to be safe from the big show happening, they're going to not only profit from it, they're going to be selling to both sides. They're going to be making sure that they're in a safe and sound place. They're going to know exactly where it's going to happen, so they know where not to be. It says the location would correspond broadly with reports from U.S. media channels that Russian warships were conducting their maneuvers between 300 and 500 miles west of the main Hawaiian Islands. Their actions have alarmed the Pentagon. Twice this month, June 14th and 18th, the U.S. scrambled F-22s from Hawaii in response to the Russian boomer flights. Neither time did the boomers enter the U.S. Air Defense Identification Zone, or the ADIZ perimeter, and so they were not intercepted. On June 17th, the Navy admitted that the USS Carl Vinson and her strike group were operating near Hawaii without revealing when they had arrived or why. Not to mention, before, they had this instance where just a few weeks ago, we, of course, had the jets scrambled, which we found out, of course, that was confirmed it was Russia. And then we had, before that, the PH base on Hawaii all of a sudden had this weird security threat. It was unknown, this untalked about thing. So what the hell is really going on? I think that, honestly, we should know a whole lot more about this, but of course, civilians aren't going to know. That's why we stress, keep your head on a swivel. Understand that this is real this time. The people say, oh, I cried, the boy cried wolf. You're going to meet the wolf someday. And just like CV happened, nobody expected it. Nobody thought that it could be global. There are global changes that are going to happen very soon, and you probably already know it in your gut, even if you are hating me right now. You know that this can all flip on its head in just a matter of moments, whether you believe it's going to be pole shift or an asteroid or Yellowstone that's going to kick it off, or the Cascadia subduction zone. It doesn't matter. Something big is coming, and you all know it. Stephen A., thank you for subscribing. Kuda EDC, Dusty Data, thank you. G7X, Elaine Glander, SKM Keith, thank you. MVX, Rick Bow, Mike Smith in the last 3 minutes. Irvin Richards, thank you and welcome. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Mr. Loosebold, K Galactic Starseed, Pamela Rose, Nikki Dolce, Aaliyah Yeshua, Robert D., Tesla's Neighbor, Nurse Nessa, Citruk, William Day Clerk, Jose Diaz, Melanie Ramsey. I cannot believe all these people. I am seriously, thank you. Asshole Marf has subscribed. Another fan of mine, I'm sure. Spelled ass with an @ sign and 2 money signs. Thank you. I appreciate you. I really do. No Name, Lisa Sterling, Brian Higgins, Charlotte, Christine Age, JJ Keys, Joan Kelly. Thank you and welcome to the Foogle fam. China just sent a record number of warplanes to Taiwan's coast, but it was a flop. Now, Dex, I don't know if you are on the phone or not. I know that we've got callers lined up, but I did want you to pop in on this one because, and ask your opinion on the last story as well. How many things have we covered around this area?
Hey, Adam. Yeah, so we've covered Taiwan extensively, and because it has been such a popular topic with China, right? They keep doing things. They keep incursioning into their airspace or into their identification zone. They've run drills left and right, and but what's interesting, and we covered this exact flyover that they did, but what's interesting is they've now done the analysis of this flyover, and they're actually saying, hey, their skills don't look that good, right? And it's like when they look at the flight pattern, they look at what they did, they're like, hey, maybe they're not as advanced, at least tactically speaking, when it comes to flying their planes, you know. And I think some of the examples where they flew a straight line, the group all flew from one place, they excuse me, they did like an L shape around the bottom of the island and then turned around and flew right back where they were. And they sort of compare it to an old TU incident that flew all the way around Japan. And it's like, well, when Russia did this, you know, they circumvented the entire island and they made loops and they did everything that they could do to stay right on the edge. And their flying was very, you know, skilled and precision, right? And so there's just a lot of things that these analysts are saying, hey, looking at what they did, they looked pretty Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, so obviously lost a little bit of respect in that way here. Again, just wanted to pop over and make sure that everyone knows there's a couple parts in this that we can't go over, and that, well, actually, and more in the next story. Make sure to hit up marfooglenews.com. You'll find a lot of stuff that we can't cover here. There's some good stuff that actually relates to this and that goes right into it. There's over 4,000 people watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, mods. It looks like you guys are working overtime here. Sonja Klein, thank you. TR3B, I know something is coming. I know. Says Dolores Leva says, did you hear Kamikaze is saying knock on people's doors to get the bang bang in the arm? Blue Diamond says Philippines president said you get the or you send to jail. That's scary. That really is. Patrick Hinman says just take down the planes already. You are doing God's work, alerting his children. Never apologize. God gave you the passion and the skill to do this for him. God bless, says Billie Jean. Linda DeLuca, thank you so much for being here. Rapture Ready. Joseph Newhouse. Hey, I haven't seen you in forever, man. Where have you been? Joseph Newhouse used to do a lot of videos that kind of bounced off of what we were talking about. Let's see. Rapture Ready. iPet Mermaid is in the house. Octavia McGee. Mongol Rex. Mohawk. Rogue Dog. It's Me is here. All sorts of great people here. Thank you. And lots of new people. Don't know how crazy this is. Thank you for everybody that has supported tonight, including Mario Berrigan. Thank you for the super sticker. All right, Dex, let's get the next caller in. We have UK-US F-35Bs launch anti-ISIS strikes from HMS Queen Elizabeth. And we'll cover that right after our next call, which it looks like we have Giant Tyrant. And he has a video of an object in the sky. Oh, square object in the moon crater. So Giant Tyrant is one of the people that actually have a awesome camera with an incredible zoom lens, as you will probably see. I already know this is going to be good. Giant Tyrant, you're live on Marfoogle News.
Hey, Adam, how's it going?
Good. So what are we looking at here today?
I can't see the TV. I don't have it on right now, but in at the bottom of the crater, at the bottom of the moon, there's a crater, and it's got like an object inside of it. I wish I could. Maybe I can pull it up on my phone and see what you're looking at.
Well,
I didn't like highlight it. I think it's about. Just if you fast forward through the video, you'll see it. It stands out pretty well, and I zoom into it.
Now, is it in the bottom left outside the moon, or is it in the crater? Oh, weird. Wait a second. I see it. Well, okay.
It's one of the bigger craters.
Okay, no. So I'm going to pause it right here, and I'm going to try to point it out. Right here, it looks like there's some sort of... maybe I'm looking at it. Maybe if you can pop open right here. And it's almost like there's craters inside of a crater, and there's this weird object.
It's like a square. It looks to me like a square platform with something sitting on it. I don't know.
Almost looks like a catwalk that goes with a... That is...
I've been trying to look at it upside down, too, if you can invert the end any way. it stands out a lot more when you look at it.
Well, what's great is people
upside down,
watching,
but-
they can lock their screen orientation and just flip their phone over instead of me doing a handstand.
Yeah,
But
'cause I don't have any experience for like
now,
anything to do stuff like that. I don't even use a computer really, other than upload. But
I'm going to ask
this is just with my.
I'm going to ask the chat if they can see my mouse. Giant Tyrant, 1 second. Let me make sure that people can see where I'm pointing here. It's a moon tree. Somebody says Bug Out 45. Ore Fighter, Info Max, Jenny
Yeah,
X.
at one point the tree was in front of the moon a little bit towards the end of that video.
Okay, let me zoom in so you can see this. So, okay, so they can see it. So right here is this. I wonder if this is it. I'll just keep playing it through, and people can look at it from different angles here. I'll full screen it so everybody can see it.
Yeah, that's it. I just pulled it up on my phone. You're pointing right at it, and there's a few objects right there, and it almost looks like there may be some kind of satellite dish to the side of it. But there's a few, and it's almost cloaked like in the mirage of the moon, or I don't know. And the other thing is I subscribe to the other theory that NASA's lying about everything, but this kind of goes against that because the moon is just hovering over us and you can't really go to it, but it looks like they've got some kind of object sitting right there.
It really looks like one of kind of how we've seen in different movies where they set up kind of a moon base that's sitting in a crater, like they're curved at the sides, and that there's an entrance right here almost. I don't know. It definitely it's weird because if a crater happened like that, how would a crater have that raised kind of area like that? You would think it would be indented.
Yeah, it's almost like some sort of platform or a protrusion out of the crater to like go underneath it or into it. I don't know.
Well, and it would actually be kind of hard to do the shadows on that, or how would that work? Maybe somebody can take that and do different lights to it, or flip it over and find something. So, Foogle fam, you have a mission if you want to try to take the video and find, do the contrast or something, and if you can flesh out what it is, that would be awesome too. Well, Giant, can you explain what kind of camera you got this on again, just for anybody that's new?
Yeah, I got with the Nikon P1000, and it was on moon mode. There's a separate mode for getting 4K image of the moon, and it has different colored filters built into the program on the camera. And I think I was using like a purple or bluish tint on the lens. But I didn't really use anything like it was in auto. It was kind of an autofocus, and it focuses in and out on the surface of the moon, and it just picks it up different. Like you could look at it from different angles or like focus it in differently and not even see that. But I got a bunch of images and other like still frame pictures of that from that night too.
Well, it's a great video, and it's very high quality. If anyone wants to watch it, they can go to marfooglenews.com to see not only Giant Tyrant's channel. He has a lot of videos like that, incredible sky videos, and then incredible moon videos as well. You can go to marfooglenews.com to find his link. Make sure to go over and love mob. That's what we call it when everybody goes over and subscribes. Giant,
I appreciate that.
Is there one more thing you want to say before you go?
Actually, yeah, there was one thing I didn't hear because I was on hold. I didn't hear if you guys mentioned it in any other articles on the show tonight. Did you hear about Press TV got shut down? The PressTV.com. It was the website was seized by the U.S. government, the whole domain from one of the Middle Eastern countries.
Dex, can you pull that up and see if we can show that on here?
I'll find it.
Okay, so Dex is on it. No, I did not know.
Yeah, it's just a news outlet, but it's in English from The only way you could say it is I ran to the grocery store. It's one of their outlets, and they shut. I think they seized. I think up to like 10 other websites too.
So something is going on right now. The nuclear plant just got shut down for whatever reason, we don't know. Of course, one of their biggest Navy vessels just got sank. And of course, all of this weird stuff with them going back and forth in the ocean. And now you're saying one of their major presses just got shut down by the middle.
And they're all the English speaking, the English part English speaking ones too.
And I heard there's something going on with the ambassadors over there, but I have not confirmed it yet. So we'll wait to see if it comes out to the public. So as far as the ambassadors in that country, something was rumored to happen. So I'm not going to say anything yet.
Screener.
All right, thank you so much. Well, Giant Tyrant, thank you for letting me know, and I'll pull this up right now so everybody can see it. Thank you for your call.
Yeah, I forgot to tell Dex about that. I heard that from Vlad Groots on his page.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you. All right, well, Giant Tyrant, make sure, be safe, be prepared, and Marf out. All right, that was Giant Tyrant. You can find his link on marfooglenews.com. Let me show you the article an article showing what he's talking about here. So let's pop it up. What's nice is we were going to add this to the website live. So this will be on the website, marfooglenews.com, before the end of the show. In fact, it probably is going to be there in the next 5 minutes. That's how quick Dex is. Now, the U.S. Gov seizes dozens of U.S. website domains connected to I. So I thought that from what he said, I was thinking that it was in the Middle E that was seizing it. We are seizing the Middle E's websites. The United States government has seized dozens of U.S. website domains connected to the I ran to the store, linked to what U.S. says are disinformation efforts, the U.S. national security official told CNN. Some users are not able to access sites like presstv.com, which is the TV-run English language news outlet. When attempting to access, users are seeing the following message. The domain presstv.com has been seized by the United States government in accordance with a seizure warrant pursuant of 18 U.S.C. as part of law enforcement action by the Bureau Industry and Security Office of Export Enforcement and Federal Bureau of Investigation. Holy moly, that's scary. They got taken down. So obviously something is going on right now, and we're not going to know until it happens. So don't be hitting the side of the head. Just realize that big things are popping. Big things are moving. All right, over 4.5 thousand people watching on YouTube. Thank you for everyone over on DLive. It looks like just people supporting left and right. Thank you so much. Divine1122, Recalcitrant, Jay Bird, Miss Me V2, Bobby D, thank you for the Ninjagini. Pearl, thank you so much. I am not who I used to be. Let's see here. Divine1122, get your popcorn. Here we go. Pearl Johnny Fry Guy, thank you so much. Johnny Scooby-Doo Right. We've got Scooby-Doo Do Right. Serenity PA shouts out to Bear Claws sleeping. Much love. Pearl says temp over 100 in a couple of days. Yeah, not fun. It's like 80 degrees here. In fact, when I did my video earlier, I was just like dying. Let's see here. Searching for Answers. Thank you for supporting. Pisces. Bodenzar. Thank you for following. And Maui Racing Realtor. Griffle. And D Frustrated says, honestly, who's in control? Hold the line. Great point. Honestly, I thank God every day that I have all of you. I really do appreciate Serenity PA. Thank you for gifting out Marfia badge to people. It helps the channel. It helps us grow. We are, of course, trying to replace Discord, which, you know, Discord's a multi-million-dollar company. We're doing it by ourselves. So thank you. Speaking of thank yous, from Australia, all supporting us in Seattle. Hey, Marf, I also send cryptocurrency trading is a great job. If you learn how to do it, it can be very profitable. Just setting the record straight. I believe in a future without the bank monopoly. Toss Dare. Oh no, I know people that Crypto Batman, my friend, he's actually kind of turned his life around because he's gotten into it and does it full time, and I'm pretty amazed at what you guys can do with it. I just don't know about it enough, and I am honestly scared about it, and I know people that pisses them off. It makes them mad that I'm scared of crypto. When I first heard about it, and remember, I told the story, I was in a bar picking up bar food a block away from my house. The guy who lived underneath in the apartment below, who was the landlord's son, basically we had this like forgiving moment. He came up at 3:30 in the afternoon in like, he's a grown man wearing little boy pajamas like Mickey Mouse. The guy, I just had no respect for him. He ended up saying sorry at the bar when I was picking up food, and then we talked, and he told me about something called Bitcoin. It was at $33, but it was going to go up, and it was this thing that, of course, nobody knows who made it. There was this guy, Satoshi, blah, 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 and it's all digital, and it's not, I'm like, so do you not ever hold something? It goes through all these computers, and I'm thinking, this sounds like a peer-to-peer, like, bear share thing, or like LimeWire. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I just got my paycheck as a driver. I was driving big trucks. And I literally, at that point, we were like setting aside $1,000 for entertainment or investment or whatever. So I had $1,000, and I could have bought like 10 coins or something, and I didn't. And I didn't really regret it until, when it's getting up to $60,000, 10 coins would be $600,000. I had the chance to buy it at $33, and I thought it was the dumbest thing ever. So, there's things like that. But I still don't trust it. I'm like, nobody knows who it came from. And then, of course, Dex is a total opposite of me. Dex, my co-host and internet brother, he's like all about Bitcoin and knows everything about it and believes in it and trusts it. I still don't. And I've even learned a lot more than I used to. But Tosdare, thank you so much for your support there. Thank you again, all the way from Australia. Thank you. A special shout out to, Kristen says, thank you for all you do. There is much deception out there and so little truth. You two are a breath of fresh air. God bless you guys. God bless you, Kristen, and thank you so much for the support. That's massive. Thank you. All right, getting back to the news, we have the U.S. Marine F-35Bs embark on U.S. carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth. British and American F-35B Lightning Joint Strike fighters flew anti-ISIS strike missions, which again, it's like from the UK Royal Navy aircraft carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth for the first time for the UK in a decade. Defense officials confirmed to USNI News on Tuesday. The F-35s from an embarked Royal Air Force 617 squadron, quote, the Dam Busters, flew combat operations in support of the UK anti-ISIS effort, Operation Shader, and U.S. Operation Inherent Resolve. Sometimes I'm like, the stuff they come up with for operation names. The UK Ministry of Defense said in a Tuesday statement, the Wake Island Avengers of U.S. Marine Fighter Attack Squadron 211 were also part of the strike missions. It says, quote, the involvement of the HMS Queen Elizabeth and her air wing in this campaign also sends a wider message. It demonstrates the speed and agility with which a UK-led carrier strike group can inject fifth-generation combat power into any operation anywhere in the world, thereby offering the British government and our allies true military and political choice. That was, of course, Commodore Steve Morehouse, commander of the UK Carrier Strike Group. So more, basically things that have not happened in a long time or a first have happened in just the last couple days. What is really happening? And then we have the U.S. SEC reportedly launches probe into cyber breach of SolarWinds. Now, if this is your first time, of course, we have a load of subscribers. I don't know where they're coming from on YouTube. Maybe it's because we're live and they're getting funneled in. But we've been following SolarWinds since it happened, and lots of weird other stuff like Tennessee, what happened with AT&T, and all that stuff. We can't even go into some of the stuff we know about that. there is something massive on the horizon, and whether it's being done by CIA or, because again, most of the biggest events in our last 70 years have basically been our own, whether it's them or whether it's Russia or whether it's China or whoever it may be. It is a fact that all of these companies have been breached. By who? I'm not going to speculate. They are saying officially that it was Russia or somebody in Russia. U.S. SEC reportedly launches the probe into, of course, the cyber breach. In a major cyber attack on SolarWinds in 2019, hackers managed to get access to the company's build system and distribute malicious code to its clients via updates of the SolarWinds software. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has launched an investigation related to the SolarWinds cyber attack, which was the first discovered in December of 2020. Remember, this was going on for months and months and months. They accessed, all these Fortune 500 clubs, all these Fortune 500 companies, pretty much anywhere you have your credit card stored with online, any company that you go and you have a membership to, from your Costco's to your Walmart's to your Fred Meyer's, all of them hacked. Starbucks, anywhere you can think of, has most likely been hacked. And then, of course, all 5 military branches, including Space Force, and including Pentagon, everywhere was hacked. So now we have seen all of these ransomwares. We've had infrastructure shut down. We've had of course, half of our gas infrastructure on the East Coast shut down for a period of weeks, just skyrocketing gas. People were selling a 5-gallon jug for $200, like this kind of insanity, right? But that was only temporary. We've had water supply issues. Now they're thinking that somebody's going to go after water supplies in cities. Still not the biggest and baddest and the worst that can happen. We had food suppliers hit. We've had power grids now just kind of barely touched. When it goes out or the light goes out, that's when we need to be really, really prepared. So I hope people are paying attention to this. They're doing a probe into it. And it's not going to come out good. So it says, according to Reuters sources, the SEC is looking for details that could indicate inside trading and failure to disclose, quote, failings that may have taken place in these companies. U.S. investigators previously determined that a group of hackers managed to get access to a build system of the SolarWinds as early as September 2019. That would be almost a whole year. That would be over a whole year. If they didn't find it until December of 2020, that means they had over 13 months to basically wreak havoc and get into everywhere they can. They could have hacked into systems and nobody would have known about it and made their own, top secret clearance in buildings. Remember, they got into the Pentagon, they got into all 5 military branches, they got into government agencies. So they could make themselves a top security clearance janitor badge and have somebody working for the last 11 months. And when they look him up, he's legit, he has a background, he has a resume, a fake name, fake everything. And this gentleman is walking every day in and out as a sleeper cell in our nuclear plants. That is why this is so serious. This is a huge deal, and people aren't going to pay attention to it until after it happens. And then when it does happen, they go, Marf is right. Dex and Marf were right. That's why we should be looking at it now and not later. The writing is on the wall. It's the simplest thing to see. It says U.S. investigators previously determined that a group of hackers managed to get access to this. It says the hackers managed to inject Trojans into the computers of 18,000 SolarWinds clients using Orion, thereby giving the perpetrators access to the machines. We're talking about everyone. The computers of numerous private companies, government agencies, and departments, as well as American military branches, were affected by the cyber attack. U.S. authorities claim that the hacker group was backed by the Russian government. Moscow strongly rejected the accusations, pointing out that Washington failed to present any tangible proof to back any such claims. And just to remind anybody new here, part of the reason they thought it was Russia is some of these hacks did not affect any computer that had Russian as its main speaking language. How obvious do you have to be? Like they care about infecting other Russians' computers. right? I mean, unless this is some Robin Hood group or whatever, this is way bigger than these Robin Hood, hackers. This is huge. This is something this is planning the next stage of this world thing that's going on right now. And everybody's has the seed in their head. Everybody, from the last 2 years, we're just do a little all in line like lemmings. What do you want us to do? Okay, I'll jump off a bridge. My friend did it. Idiotas. So once this probe goes out, I'm going to make a small prediction that this probe is going to find that there is some suspicious trailings, and we probably won't find out that something big might pop off because they probe it. But I bet you the probe is going to be somehow connected to some people that are involved with the U.S. And of course, it's going to say exactly what they need it to say. It could potentially start something much worse because they could say, oh, it is this and this and that. And we have proof right here. Or they manufacture proof of something and it starts out a whole new thing, a whole new thing. Dex, what is your opinion here? Do you have
Okay,
one?
so absolutely. So what's going on in this scenario, SolarWinds obviously has gone, not only did it go to 18,000 companies, but what we're seeing now are some of the additional ramifications. So in this particular case, the SEC getting involved, they're looking at insider trading. And specifically, there's two things that come to mind. One of those things is some of these companies knew they were hacked and didn't say anything. And did they actually trade out their millions or billions of stock before announcing that they were hacked? And or B, are there going to be new announcements coming out of ramifications from some of these companies? And they knew that these announcements were going to be coming out. And now they're looking into proactively about whether or not they did illegal trading by, dumping shares or things like that. So there could be something on the horizon here that we're going to learn, like something new where some of these companies have come out or may have to reveal certain things that had happened, or it may just be that it was all about the past. We don't know yet. We don't know the details of this investigation, but when the SEC is involved, it's really about our own corporations, these 18,000 of them, specifically the publicly traded ones, and what they did or didn't do with the knowledge they had that the public did not have.
And that might even tie into Tennessee. So somebody, I'm assuming they don't watch the show or they're new, says boring. It's only going to be boring until your power turns off and all the buzzing around you stops and you think that this is all a joke. Again, we have seen massive hacks. We have shown you the proof. We've shown you the NERC reports that the Department of Energy is not showing you. And we were right on CV 4 months before this huge thing happened. You can go back to the timestamp thing. And when we did those shows, I'm sure there was a couple of people that said, boring. Yeah, we're really going to have a pandemic. In fact, we even showed you the three-letter agency, which W and the H and the O they actually put a map out of how this one would affect us and affect our allies and affect everything. We have all of those in anyone to somebody who is new in the chat. So if the old school Foogle fam wants to tell anyone new watching in chat, if you were prepared for CV because of this show, and if you knew that CV was coming, I actually visited and did a live report from the first victim in Bellevue, Washington. Even asked nurses if the nurses said they didn't even know the guy was there. This was the first U.S. patient. I was outside the hospital covering it. Well, no one knew about it. Again, no one was talking about this except for us. And, of course, it turned into the biggest global thing in the world. Now we're talking about this, and people say boring. Just wait until your power turns off. Don't be an effing idiot. Get yourself prepared.
And let's not forget the treasure trove of email, right? The Microsoft hack that went through all of the mail systems out there that use Microsoft, which is a lot. We're going to see that trickle out. We've seen certain emails released here recently that have, put different people in different lights, whether they're famous doctors that some people love and some people don't like, to other sorts of emails that we're going to probably see the light of day, especially in the coming year. There is so much information now that the this hacking community has, and it'll be very interesting to see how they reveal it and what they reveal, or what do they hold for their own personal gain.
And watch, speaking of treasure trove, we'll go into this next one, but I do want to say, like, you know, everybody that says we were prepared because of this, I get that. It's like all the preppers in our group too, all of the preppers that do the prepper minutes and everybody else, you guys all know, people are going to be, people are afraid of it. So then they want to push back on it. They don't want to hear it. They want to go back to normal, but guess what? We're not going back to normal, and it's only going to get worse. And you think that this is all like, you know, huffy puffy for entertainment purposes. Again, just wait. Everyone thought that that CV was impossible. That this, and by the way, if once you look back at it, you go, wow, could be the biggest operation ever pulled off, and it's not over. So I hope everybody is getting with it. I hope everybody is ready for the next step. I hope everybody is paying attention, and I hope that everybody opens their eyes and opens their ears, because it's just going to get crazier from here. It says how big tech created a data treasure trove for police. Indianapolis News. It says here that when U.S. law enforcement officials need to cast a wide net for information, they're increasingly turning to a vast digital pond of personal data created by big tech companies via the devices and online services that have hooked billions of people around the world. Data compiled by 4 of the biggest tech companies show that law enforcement requests for the user information, phone calls, emails, texts, and photos, shopping histories, driving routes, and more have more than tripled in the U.S. since 2015. Police are also increasingly savvy about covering their tracks so not to alert the suspects of their interest. So they're watching you. That's the backup for recent revelations of the T-Man era U.S. Justice Department sought data from Apple, Microsoft, and Google about members of Congress, their aides, and their news reporters in leaks investigations, then pursued court orders that blocked those companies from informing their targets. It says in just the first half of 2020, the most recent data available, Apple, Facebook, and Microsoft together fielded more than 112,000 data requests from local, state, and federal officials. The companies agreed to hand over some data in 85% of the cases. Almost, I mean, that's almost all of them. Facebook, including Instagram service, accounted for the largest numbers of disclosures. Well, why would they want Facebook and Instagram? Oh, yeah, that's because they have all of your information, all of your personal... Oh, and I forgot, Dex, did we find out from Congress and some of the meetings that happened just a few months ago that Facebook actually tracks all of your information outside of Facebook?
Yeah, and didn't we show that their cameras were recording and had the ability to record even when you weren't using it?
Oh,
so there's no telling what data they've got. And if you know, they can be requesting data that you may not even know you created.
Just so you know, we found out for sure that the FB, the book of the face, is not only been shown to have recorded people through their cameras, but it has an actual secret thing that Congress busted them on in public, and they denied, and they said, oh, we'll have to get back to you on that, of an actual program that monitors everything you do outside of the face. So again, if you have it on your computer, you think, I don't do anything wrong, so I don't care. What if they use it against your family, or they use it against somebody else that, you know, maybe they did do something, and, you know.
Maybe you didn't do anything wrong in your posts, but what did you do the rest of the time when you didn't think you were doing anything on the book, and it's capturing everything you're doing? That's what's crazy.
Not only that, they can accuse you of doing something you didn't do just because you were at a 7-Eleven. They can do a geo-tagged warrant, a geo-warrant. What is it called? A geolocation warrant? Where,
geofence warrant.
Geofence warrant, where you are at a 7-Eleven and say you bought a Big Gulp. You went and sat in your car for 5 minutes. Meanwhile, somebody got robbed right outside the other side of the establishment there. Maybe they got shivved and passed away. Well, guess what? You sipped the rest of your big gulp, you backed out, and you drove away. Well, then later, when they go to investigate it, they find all of the cell phones that were at that location in that time period. All of a sudden, you get your door kicked down, and SWAT is coming in and grabbing you and taking you to jail. And they said, you were at this area. In fact, you were the only cell phone at that location at that same moment. The evidence points to you being the one who took this guy out. You think that that's science fiction? It's already happened. There are geofence warrants going out right now. And there are people that are, of course, innocent that are getting accused that just happen to be in the neighborhood. We also called all of the companies applying facial recognition and actually being directly connected to the police, which now Amazon is going to be doing. And you can, at first it was voluntary, and you could have your Ring camera voluntarily connected to the local police department, and they would actually pay you $500. They were paying businesses $500, like 7-Elevens, to basically Wi-Fi their feed right out to a police station. So if the police need to check up on that area, they can just go in and log into 7-Eleven's camcorder. Then now it's starting with homes. So if they need to go to a neighborhood, they get a report. Oh, somebody's on 4th and 5th. Okay, 4th and 5th, and they can pull up any of your house's Ring doorbell cameras and check out what's going on before they go. Now, that sounds like a great thing, especially for the police that are putting their lives on the line, but it probably isn't so great when you have your 20-year-old daughter come over with her motorcycle driving, or maybe it might be a good thing. Her motorcycle driving boyfriend comes over and drops her off, and it catches his face, and he's got a bench warrant. All of a sudden, you've got a SWAT team coming in your door trying to arrest the boyfriend, and, accidentally your wife gets taken out by a SWAT team. Sounds over the top, right? Just wait. We're going to see stories like that, and we're going to cover them here on the show. We already have. It says that consider Newport, Rhode Island, a coastal city of 24,000 residents that attracts a flood of summer tourists. Fewer than 100 officers patrol the city, but they make multiple requests a week for online data from tech companies. That's because most crimes, from larceny to financial scams to a recent fatal house party stabbing at a vacation rental booked online, can be at last partly traced on the internet. Tech providers, especially social media platforms, offer a treasure trove of information that can help solve them, said Lieutenant Robert Salter, a supervising police detective. Everything happens on Facebook, Salter said. The amount of information you can get from people's conversations online, it's insane. But not only that, somebody who is totally unrelated, you are photobombing them. You are in the background and say you're the suspect of something. They can go to that area, then see if there was any pictures taken, and then the facial recognition of the Facebook can actually mark those people and even say, hey, you were with this person. Say there was a suspect in the background. It will actually tag them if it gets enough of your face. So they can map this whole thing out, and they can virtually see everything, almost like out of a Batman movie. Very scary. Dex, let's get our next caller on. It looks like we have Andy, another first-time caller, calling Canada's C-10 bill censoring the internet. Let's get Andy, first-time caller, on. And then thank you, Brandon H. Andy, are you swimming right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now it sounds a little bit better.
I am not swimming, no, sir.
Okay. What's going on, Andy? I'm going to pull up this article. Can you explain what we're looking at?
Yeah, it's Canada's C-10 bill to regulate what people can and can't say on social media.
Sounds
so
scary.
It sounds a little authoritarian. It's definitely reminds me of other countries in different parts of the world, and it surprises me to see it this close to home.
Wow, they're actually going to it already looks like, from looking ahead, it says the legislation drafted by Justin Trudeau's government, known as Bill C-10, is meant to subject tech giants to the same requirements as traditional broadcasters, effectively compelling companies like Netflix Inc. and TikTok to finance and promote Canadian content. It's among the most far-reaching plans. But it says, in an age where everyone is potential publisher, the act to amend the Broadcasting Act could affect individual expression on social media and other digital platforms that rely on user-generated content. So basically, this would turn them into straight-up publishers, correct?
Yes, sir.
And
the
then,
way I understand it, yeah. You're going to have to get permission from the government before you can say things. So things that they don't want said can't be said.
Wow. So this is the kind of debate that we've had, the balance between the two. Like, of course, we have Section 230, which protects them if they're, not a publisher and they're a platform. This is basically turning Canada into kind of a bad place for anybody speaking on social media.
Yes, sir. And definitely anybody trying to talk in any way that the Canadian government doesn't approve won't have their voice heard. They just won't have that option anymore.
Yeah, that's not good. Well, Andy, there's a lot more going on in Canada recently than ever. I've seen a lot of videos. It seems like you guys are just a couple years behind in some stuff, but way ahead in others. I saw videos that you regarding CV, you've had a lot of things like curfews and kind of authoritarian people in Montreal. Have you seen any of that going on? Like, are they pretty authoritarian about some of that stuff?
I have a friend who lives in Alaska. Or I'm sorry, I have a friend who lives in Canada. I'm up in Alaska, but I have a friend in Canada that I talk to regularly. And she said, one, she thinks it's totally fine, but she says that there are a lot of lockdowns. There have been curfews, and there have been stories that I've seen. I think there's one a couple weeks ago. A pastor was arrested for holding an outdoor service because outdoor gatherings weren't allowed. And in America, we have freedom of religion, and that's something that we haven't had to deal with to that extent, which is good. But yeah, no, they're definitely dealing with a lot of interesting laws and things going on there. It seems more like China than it is Canada. They're following under the same sort of guidelines and rules as China would.
Yeah, and not to mention we have they're doing these weird things like where they're checking people. I've seen lots of videos of them just straight up walking up at night with their flashlights. In Montreal especially, I've seen a lot of videos posted on Twitter lately, and I was like, is this at the beginning of CV? But no, it's actually like right now. Well, thank you for calling and bringing this to our attention. Very surprised by that. I always thought that they were kind of better in a lot of ways, but apparently not.
Yeah, no, not so much, sadly.
Well, thank you, Andy, for calling, and we'll make sure to put this and other information related onto marfooglenews.com. Thanks again, and don't be a stranger. It's your first time call. Don't make it your last.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Andy. You can find this article and more at marfooglenews.com. Thank you, Amanda Carrillo. I appreciate your support. You can always write a message there. And then Lady T says, love you, Marv. Check out unitednetwork.news. I will make sure to do so. I always love new suggestions. White Knight, thank you, says, keep sharing the truth. Much love. Bro hug. Marf, Dex, and mods. Scare necessary event. A lot of new people. Antique, just got that. Ricky Rocks, Mike Smith, NZ, Bro, Trev, thank you for subscribing. As always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. Sonny, Ryan U, Ernie T, Stuart F. That's weird. Three names with the last initial. Quincy Kunayoshi, thank you. Mary Lufrokya, Brandon Schaltzorm, Brandy Wine, thank you. Starshine67, Kat We All Just Get Along. Kat, We All Just Get Along. Thank you for subscribing. Octavia McGee, thank you and welcome. Bernarda Lucas, Joey C., Mike Christman, Ellie Loves Jesus, Breaking Money, thank you, subscribed. Santini Crans, Toss Dare, again, thank you so much. TD, Julia Perlingos, Sparky, Monaco, Roswell Wonder. Kristen, thank you so much again for your support. Ted Watson, Evans Beam, there's too many people to shout out at this point. I cannot believe this. L.A., Lady T, again, thank you. Stumpy Triker, Saint Cruisin, and Rodney McKay. Thank you, everybody. I don't know what the heck is changing there. End Times, hi, Adam and Dex. Been a while, but better late than never. Been working Foogle fam forever. End Times, thank you so much for your massive support. Dropping a Ninja Guinea over on YouTube. And then we have SPSM, another old school Foogle fam stopping by. That picture of the cloud looks like there is a planet. Look at the curves of the cloud. It's a circle. I did not notice that. I will have to check that again. And then Cloud Pharrell, can't wait for state-connected groups, Adam and Dex. I cannot either. And then Divine 1122 and Defrustrated. Everybody that has supported tonight, thank you so much. Dex, can you explain what we have in store for them on the website?
Absolutely. So if you head over to marfooglenews.com, click on the thumbnail for today's show, scroll down to the web-only content, the stuff that's basically too hot for TV. So lots of content on there that we can't necessarily talk about. Some of it's a little sided. Some of it's just content that's just a little too tough to use on this platform. I'll give you a little highlight. Everybody's favorite doctor who doesn't know how to throw a baseball is covered quite extensively for some reason in the news today. Lots of things there about him and a handful of lawsuits going on, especially with past administrations and others that you can look at there and get some of the latest details. So head over to marfooglenews.com, scroll down to web-only content. It's all right there.
And it has a ton of just really amazing information. It's all at your fingertips. I want to say a special thank you to those who supported us on PayPal over the last day. Brandon H., which I believe, we normally don't say, but I believe that's Brandon Henschel, which has a channel under the name. So I will say thank you. Says, keep doing what you do, bud. You and Dex are an inspiration to us all. Love the show. We'll catch the replay tomorrow. Thank you, Brandon. I really do appreciate that. If it's not, either way, thank you, Brandon. If it's Brandon Henschel, thank you. I do appreciate you. And again, always trying to send people your way if I can. Tammy C., thank you so much for the support. Appreciate that. You can always write a message just like a normal super chat, and it will be read on the show. Carol M., Thomas P., Carol M., I really appreciate you. Thomas P., I finally got my first EMP Shield. Thank you for all you do. I have been with you since the beginning, and I can't wait for the new platform to go live. Thanks, Marf, Dex, and Mods. #much love. Thank you. I seriously can't wait either. It's going to be really fun. Woodsmere says, don't be the last to panic. Woodsmere, I totally think you're right. Stephen D., thank you for the support. I appreciate you more than you know. Blue Homemade Heaven. And then Sunny Beach Girl says, sending love to all the Foogle fam. Sorry I've been MIA. Life is crazy right now. Thank you, Jammer1 and Miss Jammer1 for checking in on me. We have the best family on the planet. Thanks, Adam, Marf, Dex, and Mods. So if you are new, there's a lot of new people. If you're in the chat, be respectful to everybody else. The whole thing, and I want to get back to it, is that we are pushing each other up. We don't talk smack about other creators, even if we don't like them, even if they're talking smack about me. We don't talk trash in our chats. I have done one defensive video about 2.5 years ago, but I've never done a negative video about other people because I don't believe in it. I think that it just starts a whole nother circle of stuff, and it's negative, and it just pushes you down. I'm not trying to be cliche here. I really do truly believe that we should be teaming up together rather than fighting each other. I've had online beefs and whatever else, and I just let them do their thing because there's no point in, going after people that they're just stuck on negative. So I want to keep that same thing in the chat. We try to push each other, get to know these people, because guess what? They are the people that when everything hits the fan, they're going to be the people that you recognize and, say we come up with a symbol, like, have some sort of, yellow sign or something that says, hey, we're Foogle fam, something, you'll have somebody that will back you up. In my Discord, when I had that, we were supporting businesses inside the Foogle fam before supporting corporations. If, Joe Bob had a tire shop, you spend $10 extra and you go spend it with a Foogle fam member, Joe Bob, or spend it with a veteran member before you spend it with, Discount Tire. That is the whole point of this. We need to stick together and we need to push each other up. That is absolute. Again, we accept all types of people here. But again, just want to make sure that, you all understand that I am very, very thankful for each and every one of you. Dex, who is my internet brother and co-host, he as well. We are just we feel very blessed every day to have every single one of you. Every single time we see a new name, we appreciate you. And that's, again, part of the Shoutro too. I get to know everybody that's here. Adrian Maldonado just did a huge support. Thank you so much. Again, thank you, and thank you. Been able to pass this down to my kids, 11, 13, 15, and 17 years. May the big man upstairs bless both of you and your families for waking up the less fortunate. Gracias. Adrian Maldonado, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I'm so glad that you were able to do that. Shirlene Taylor says, watch, quote, the true Holy of Holies revealed on YouTube to know the truth. Stay repentant at all times. Keep up the great work. Thank you, and a lovely message there. I also want to thank Susan Donahue, Gone Girl 777, a lot of the people that have gone above and beyond to help us to do everything that we've been able to accomplish. Cuppy, thank you so much. Everybody here, you guys have a great night. It is officially time for a Shoutro. Dex, can you let me know who the top? I know who the tops are on YouTube. That would be Shirlene Taylor and Adrian Maldonado. Who are the top on D Live tonight?
In the number 3 position, we have Bobby D. In the number 2 position is SPSM. And in the number 1 position, thank you very much, is End Times.
End Times, thank you again. Seriously, you guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting independent. Without you, we're nothing. It is now time for the Shoutro. It's not an outro. It's not a shout-out. It's where we say the credits. And the credits are you.
Russian fleet 35 miles of Hawaii. If we not careful, a bunch of dead guys scattered on the beach by a surprise. Watch as the subs rise with the sunrise. If we not careful, a bunch of dead guys scattered on the beach by a surprise. Watch as the subs rise with the sunrise. Russian fleet 35 miles of Hawaii. If we not careful, a bunch of dead guys scattered on the beach by a surprise. Watch as the subs rise with the sunrise. Got the Roman wood and the pine the new episode of Chosen on the Outway. Old Brett Hines on that Ricky Rick. You used to see this gonna be going to. This year dry me on the garden. Hey now in the bomb in the body. Everything in the end in the Billie Jean. Hayes in night door in the Billy Me. Snappy snaps on new. Gonna bring it back, old key shot too. Mrs. Gemma One Chance Paladon. Able body down, everybody's son. Miss Stealthy at the End Times. Bring it back now, everybody. Russian fleet 35 miles of Hawaii. If we not careful, a bunch of dead guys scattered on the beach by a surprise. Watch as the subs rise with the sunrise. Russian fleet 35 miles of Hawaii. If we not careful, a bunch of dead guys scattered on the beach by a surprise. Watch as the subs rise with the sunrise. Chance Paladin and I ball by. Cross your man and Spuggy Ryan. Everybody really wanna find.
No bomb from the top to the left. And the one in the everybody daily.
Lord Andrew Cassidy King. Roll back, and everybody knows me. I'm mighty on the toy with the Dex, yeah. Everybody wanna say with the Grifflay. Miss J in the bag with the 10 now. Gonna bring back now, they getting seen now with the Caddy Hansen and Shirley Taylor. Bring it back, everybody gonna hate her. Dawn Garcia, everybody fade her. Like me, Suzanne and the Darth Vader, right? With the Laura Griffith. Laura Griffith in the tree, okay. Venom's in the bay, in the back knee. End times with their animal by. Going right back and they have to drive by. Juicy boy, 20 and a half by lie. Going back down, never tell white lies. Bernard Supernova 827, thank you for your support from Australia. Charlene Taylor, thank you. Now we will make a hook with Charlene Taylor. Charlene Taylor never fades, yeah. 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 Shirley Taylor, going back, hey, never gonna be a hater. Shirley Taylor, 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 never gonna be a hater. Shirley, I said Shirley. Shirley, I said Shirley. Shirley, I said Shirley. Shirley, I said Shirley. Watch as the subs rise with the sunrise. Bang a jet on the beach by a surprise. Watch as the subs rise with the sunrise. IOD Will in the Robert J house. I want you a Vivan Young. Bring it back down like a Iwan Young. Who now like a Ivan Young. Timothy Rowan had to be with the open. I'll bring back now. Everybody now the show's over. 13 now the whole key. Harry on the balls. Bring it back down, Lord Andrew. So